Hello from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, a city I know very well. It's my 9th time here in Malaysia, and after visiting Sumatra for 1 month, one of Indonesia's largest islands, I jumped on a cheap AirAsia flight to the capital of Malaysia, and I thought I would do a bit of a walking tour and, for nostalgic reasons too, explore a little bit of a city I'm quite familiar with. And what a better place to start than here in Merdeka Square, where Malaysian independence was declared in 1957. The flag flying very high up there. And the reason why this is a great place to start is because we've got the old government building here from the 1800s, and then poking up behind there, the KLCC Towers, the Petronas Towers, the main landmark of the country. And then also the very high TV tower, which is a recognizable sight here too. But I'm going to wander through these interesting streets first. So as I said, I just came from Sumatra, which was one of the best experiences I've had this year traveling there. The playlist is on my channel if you're interested. And so on my way home for Christmas, I was figuring out the best way to go, and a quick flight, 1 hour to Kuala Lumpur from Medan, the largest city in Sumatra. And you can be here in Kuala Lumpur, which is a incredible transport hub, many flights going in all kinds of directions to the Middle East, to other parts of Southeast Asia, all the way to Europe. And so I found a very good flight deal for £280 with Etihad, a really good airline, via Abu Dhabi to get back to London in December, which is incredible considering the flight prices that we've had in recent years. So we're just coming up on the river now, and on the other side of it is Masjid Jamek, arguably the city's most famous mosque. The river is called the River of Life, which is where Kuala Lumpur gets its name from. A city where the new and the old merge everywhere. I remember a friend of mine once described Kuala Lumpur to me as a bit like Blade Runner, because it is just full of skyscrapers and highways, metro trains, and at night it lights up and then has a kind of futuristic feel to it. The front of the mosque there. I'm wearing shorts, so I will not go inside. I wasn't planning on heading in, but if you want to see what it's like, of course you can make your way. And now beside one of the main roads in an area very close to Little India, Palestine, Malaysia, scarves there. Now personally for me, this area is my favorite part of Kuala Lumpur, and that's because it is just such a melting pot of the different communities in one. On the same street you'll find a mosque and a Hindu temple and a Chinese temple, a bit like in Penang as well. You can find that all over the country. Always lots of food, no matter what time of day. It's also really interesting to people watch in this area because you will find such a mix of ethnicities, Indian to Chinese, Malay. I think Malaysia might be one of the most multicultural places you'll find on earth. Some really beautiful old rustic buildings here that date back to the time when the British were here, and that's also kind of why Malaysia is so multicultural, because of the trade. People brought from Tamil Nadu in India, Chinese merchants working here alongside the local Malay population. Plenty of places to eat, local eateries. Hey, Hainanese chicken rice, that one more like a mamak style, which is like nasi goreng, mee goreng, roti canai, Indian style, Malaysian food. But they all have tons to get excited about. And I'm on my way to lunch while I wander around here. This one is definitely an Indian style mamak. I used to love going to these places late at night. Roti canai, as I said, with the dip, dosas, idlis. And generally you take a plate of rice and then just choose which exotic, colourful curry you want to go with your food or vegetables. As I said, this is my 9th time here, and I have a lot of Malaysia videos on my channel, and having spent quite a bit of time here, I've got some pretty interesting videos. Hey.
I come from Bangladesh.
Bangladesh?
Bangladesh.
Which city?
Dhaka.
Dhaka, okay, very good.
I come from Bangladesh.
From Bangladesh as well, very good. I visited Penang in the north, Langkawi, and then also Malacca down south, and also spent some time in Negeri, Sembilan, a fairly remote, quite conservative Malay district where I fasted for Ramadan and spent Eid there with the family of my previous girlfriend, and I learned a lot about Malay culture and the country, particularly the Malay side, the Islamic side, less so the Indian and Chinese. I've just observed that as I've walked around places like this over the years. This is really the heart of Little India, this area, as you can tell by the people around. Where I'm going for lunch is more of a Chinatown area, more Chinese communities. It changes from street to street, but certain streets are more heavily based on one ethnicity or the other. Fascinating to see. Those guys I just met were from Bangladesh, but you also have Indians, Tamils, Pakistanis as well. People from all over the Indian subcontinent are here now. That one guy said he was here in KL for 10 years from Bangladesh. Hey. This area really does feel like being in India a little bit. See if I can find my way to get across here and hunt down Chinatown, where I want to try some food at a famous place called the Old China Cafe. I am dying to eat a nasi lemak. Fresh coconuts and fruits. What a buzzing area this is. This is why I like it. So this is one of the main streets as you come into Chinatown. The market of Petaling Street is to the right in a second. It runs through the middle there. If you want to try good Chinese, Malaysian food, then just off Petaling Street is where you'll want to aim for. So you'll notice the vibe has changed slightly more towards we'd expect Chinatown to be like. Some nice looking hostels and cafes with a boutique interior in the old style. Notice how the kind of people you see in this area has changed. This looks like a good food place. But I will head on to the old China cafe. So I've just come from this way. This is Petaling Street, the Chinatown market. I'll be honest with you, I've never really found it particularly exciting, apart from a couple of the food places. It's mostly just clothes and discounted shoes and various trinkets. So let's carry on, because I'm also hungry as well. I want to eat. I wanted to say as well that Malaysian food is actually my favorite cuisine in the world, followed closely by Italian, Japanese, and Indian. But Malaysia, I think, gets the top spot. I have just fallen in love with it over the years, and the fact that you can have so many different types of dishes, whether that's Malay food, Chinese, or Indian, the exotic flavors and spices, and then not just that, the coffee and tea is really good too. Some nice modern places in the skeleton of these old merchant and trading houses. I'm gonna go here for breakfast tomorrow morning to end the video, because it's one of the best places in the city, but it's a bit late at the moment. Here we are, Cafe Old China. Okay, so I'm now sat here in the Old China Cafe, one of the most traditional places in the older part of Kuala Lumpur that you can come to grab some local straights, Chinese, Malaysian food. And I have the national dish of Malaysia right here, the precious nasi lemak with its own variation of curry chicken, blue rice, the sambal is there, cucumbers, anchovies, peanuts, and an egg. This is to die for. The curry sauce here with the chicken is absolutely rich and delicious. Washing it down here with an iced coffee. I think that's condensed milk at the top, mixing with the coffee at the bottom. It's local coffee according to the menu. You can also grab yourself laksa, noodle dishes, and many different types of Malaysian classics you'll find on the menu here. But above all, even though it's a little bit more pricey than a local place, you get the amazing atmosphere and history to surround yourself with while you're here visiting the most historic part of Kuala Lumpur. So just finished my lunch there, which was amazing, and passing through this street, people getting pictures with this mascot. Some lanterns above, I wonder if they're shooting a music video or something. Looks like it. This is a famous little side street which is much photographed here, with its murals. Really beautiful, the old buildings mixed with the trees and the lanterns. An Instagram hotspot now. In Penang, you'll see a lot of these types of murals all around. In KL, you'll see them a bit, particularly here. So after taking a taxi, I've made my way over to the other side of the city by the Petronas Towers, which look incredible, lit up, and the tree in the foreground by Surya KLCC, which is one of the main shopping centers. This is KLCC Park, which is nice for a stroll at any time of day, especially at night though, when all the lights are on. It's always worth coming here to take a look at it before heading out and wandering around a bit more. So I think, as I mentioned in my Singapore video earlier this year, Singapore is one of the best transit places to spend a few days in the world, and I think Kuala Lumpur might be up there in the top 5, second, along with other cities. It's got modernity, but history, food, culture, but also a very easy place to navigate. It's far cleaner and more organized than the majority of Southeast Asia. It's not quite the level of Singapore, but it's one notch down, I would say, but in a good way. That's a compliment. Singapore is an incredible place. And another aspect about KL that I just love is the fact that I don't find myself under much pressure to see many things or go sightseeing. There aren't that many standout sites other than the Petronas Towers and the Batu Caves. So when you come here, it's kind of this feeling of wander around a bit, enjoy the warm weather, go to a mall, have some good food from a local place, and just no pressure to do too much, to see this or that like you would in other major cities. There's always another attraction you haven't seen in Paris or Tokyo. But with Kuala Lumpur, you can pretty much see a lot of interesting things in a day or two. And then once you've got that out the way, in the future, when you come back, it's this feeling of just wandering and enjoying it while you're here. However, even though I have been here, like I said, 9 times now, I still have not been to Malaysian Borneo. That is high on my list. Having been to Sumatra, well, the rain's really coming down. I do not have an umbrella. I should probably take refuge somewhere. But yes, Borneo, Brunei, as well as Sabah and Sarawak, and perhaps Kalimantan, the Indonesian side. That is a part of Southeast Asia I really want to see. This isn't good. There's nowhere to go. Where do I cover? Big mistake not to bring an umbrella in the evening. Kuala Lumpur is like, no, it always rains. Once it gets to around the sunset time. So the rain came down there, so I just found this local mamak place. And I have roti telur, which is roti stuffed with egg, some fresh orange juice, and then the chanai dipping here, which is just so good for a late night snack. One of my favorite things to eat here. They always make the roti fresh in front of you. And here you can order all sorts of things. Maggi goreng, nasi goreng. You can get meats with different curries and with white rice. So just finished the roti canai in the mamak there, and I'm going to head back to where I'm staying and call it an evening, because I want to wake up early tomorrow to go to a famous breakfast place before my long journey back to London via Abu Dhabi, as I said earlier. You can see the durians here, the Musang King. So I think I will leave it there, and I will catch you again in the morning. Hello, good morning and welcome back. I am ready to have the breakfast here at this very famous place this morning. Make sure you get here early because you can see how many people there are waiting. I have my space in the queue, but it might take a little bit of time. Quick glimpse from the outside. Thank you. Looks interesting inside. Hi, hi. You can see them making the toast and the coffee there. Hello, A044.
How many person?
One person. Okay. Love the menu on an old newspaper here. They have nasi lemak and other dishes which you can get all day, but the main thing here is the butter and kaya toast with coffee, and you dip it in half-boiled eggs. So here I have the wonderful kaya toast with butter there, which is the jam filling in the bread here, which you dip with your half-boiled eggs, which you need to break. I'm not sure if it's in the GoPro or not, like so. Into the bowl. Alright, let's dip away. Sweet buttery bread into the raw egg. Half-boiled, I should say. That is a really nice contrast. It reminds me when I was a child. I used to dip my bread in boiled eggs in the morning, egg soldiers my mum used to make, but here with a bit of kick of sweetness. And the butter from the bread coming through. And then finishing off with a kopi o, thick, rich tasting coffee here. Usually comes with sugar, but it's really nice with sugar because the coffee is quite bitter. You can also get yourself a teh tarik, which is the tea that's really popular as well with milk, but I prefer the kopi o, and I think it goes well with the kaya toast and eggs. Alright, so just finished breakfast there. I'm walking down the same street as yesterday, you might recognize, with the lanterns. And it's really not expensive there. 360 ringgit for the kaya toast, a single one, and then also 360 for the half-boiled eggs. And I also picked up some of the kaya jam, one of the best places to get it in the city, and a great souvenir to take back with me on my flight, which brings me forward to the fact that I now need to get back, pack my stuff, and then head to the airport for my long journey home today. So that's all from Kuala Lumpur in this video. I hope you enjoyed it and it gave you a taste of some of the food places you can go to and a little bit of the walking that you can do. You can check my old Malaysia videos in the playlist from years gone by of trips to the Cameron Highlands, Penang, Malacca, Ramadan, fasting with a family, all that kind of stuff. Lots here from Malaysia on my channel. So a street food tour I did a few years ago. I probably will come back one day to visit Borneo, hopefully in the near future, but let's see. And if you have any travel recommendations for me for 2024, please leave them in the comments below. Until then, peace.